So the third major type of learning is social or observational learning. Those two terms are oftentimes used synonymously. And in social or observational learning, it's learning that's accomplished by observing others. It's a term that defines itself, but it's very different from classical or operant conditioning in the sense that it's learning in which the learner is not directly involved in their own learning necessarily. They see someone else do something. Oftentimes they see someone else receive a reward or a punishment for doing something, and they learn to change their own behavior just by observing. We can think of all sorts of examples of this from our own lives. For example, I assume that for a lot of you, you know not to touch a hot stove. Now, do you know that because you did it yourself? For some of you, maybe. But for a lot of you, you've learned not to do that because you've seen a sibling or someone on TV do that and then literally get burnt by it, and so you don't do it yourself. Now, one of the strongest ways that we can learn observationally is through a process known as modeling. And this is a process wherein you observe and then imitate a specific behavior. And so this is such a strong method of learning because not only are you seeing someone else do something, and the something else is something that's very, very specific, skill specific, but you're then also attempting to implement it on your own. So you're seeing it and then you're doing it. Modeling is oftentimes used when teaching sports, for example. I coach volleyball, and so one of the things that I'll do is if I'm introing a new skill, I'll have my girls watch someone else do that skill first. I'll have a varsity player or someone who's played before. I'll have them show everyone how to do it, and then I'll ask my girls to try it themselves. So they see it first, and they see it done properly, and then they attempt it, and that's what modeling is all about. Now, observational learning is not something that is unique just to humans. All sorts of different animals can also learn observationally. We see the most complex examples of that in monkeys. We've seen monkeys model really complicated behaviors, actually. Monkeys can learn how to be forgiving, for example. Forgiving might be the wrong word. It's a little theological. But they can learn pro-social behavior just by seeing another monkey engaging in pro-social behavior. Humans, we know, imitate all the time really complicated things and really social things. The way that we speak is very observational. Accents, catchphrases. We learn based on others. We learn traditions. We learn how to dress. So there's all sorts of things that we learn observationally. And so one of the first people to really study observational learning was a guy by the name of Albert Bandura. And you can see him pictured above me right now. Albert Bandura is one of the most prominent social psychologists. He studied a lot of different areas in social psych. Right now we're going to talk about his social learning theory. And he thought that a lot of our learning is accomplished through interaction and observation with and of other people. And one of his biggest research studies was looking at how aggressive models can affect children's behavior. Very simply put, can children learn to be aggressive by watching an adult engage in aggressive behavior? And so what he did was something known as the Bobo doll experiment, where he showed children a film of an adult behaving in an aggressive way towards an object known as a Bobo doll. It's known as a Bobo doll because it's a clown. It's like one of those like punching bag kind of dolls where you punch it and it goes down and then it pops back up. And he showed children a film of adults like kicking it and attacking it. You can see some pictures next to me over here. And then he let children into the room where there were a bunch of toys, including a Bobo doll. And what he wanted to know is, would the children be more or less aggressive after having seen the video? One group saw the video, one group of children did not see the video. So what I'd like you to do is watch a video clip of the Bobo doll experiment, which I will add in the description of this video. And then if you want to come back, I'll have another video sort of doing a little bit of a recap of what we glean from this study and some future variations of the Bobo doll experiment.